So I moved the cups back a little bit because instead of mixing more paint, I'm just gonna do like a dip just to get a background layer for this. Oh, I was just gonna do it for background, but I think I'm just gonna continue the dip at this point. So I need to get the dip all around these edges. I literally was just gonna do it as a background, and now I'm kind of in love with it. Everybody does all these dips and they're like, oh, they're so beautiful, and I'm like, how do you do that? So I'm wondering if I can just add some to the edges here. That looks awesome, you guys. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are going to say it's not awesome, but to me, it looks awesome. I'm trying to find something that I can dip and put up here without having to sit there and do it with my fingers. Okay, we're going to use this order form from Golden. We're going to dip it. We're going to pull it. And we're going to dip it. And we're going to use it to kind of wipe the edges just to get paint on them. Actually, I might be able to dip the edges. We're going to do some dipping fun. Because I did that one dip with the coaster, and it was, I mean, like, it was okay, but it was a generic, like, okay. Like, nothing magical that I completely wanted to totally do again. But now I'm kind of like, maybe I do. So, now I need to move my cups back. Wasn't expecting to like that at all. And I got a few more spots that need paint. Make sure everything over there has paint. And then I'm going to torch it. And that was actually probably the fastest and easiest painting I have done. Interesting. I don't know why I'm torching it at this point. The cells are there. There's a little spot with no paint. Well, what I had done is I had underneath where I just dipped, I had sucked up all of the paint into a syringe and I was going to pour it. But I guess I'm going to do that on a different canvas. Let me grab a canvas and open it up. Because I want to see how this one turns out. And if it doesn't turn out, then guess what? We have it for a report. But it kind of looks like it's going to turn out. So, let me make a little bit of space over here. I was only planning to do 5. Now I have room to move it. As soon as I get another cup, bum, bum, bum. I'll bring you in for a close-up on this one after we do the next one, so I don't have to keep moving you with my wet painted hands. Okay, so that's even going to look better on the skins. So now, we're just trying all kinds of fun stuff today and getting decent results. Do I have any colors that I have paint that I could do a base coat with? No. Okay, so I'm going to mix up some white because I think this is going to be rather dark in this syringe. So I'm going to mix up some Artist Loft Flow Acrylics white. Just enough to do a background. That's about a 1-to-1 paint to Floetrol ratio. I may end up adding a little bit more Floetrol. People add water, I add more Floetrol. I don't add water to my paints. That's actually a decent consistency. Let me check. Just a little more. There is more than likely silicone in the syringe because there was silicone in a few of the colors that we used with the syringe that were underneath here. So there's probably some silicone in the syringe, more than likely actually. More than likely there is silicone in that syringe. So. Hopefully this is enough to cover it. If not, I'll mix up a little bit more. And I'm sorry about the lives, guys. I tried something new, but I think because the signal's so bad here because of the weather, like we're already getting thunderstorms, we already have water on the ground. My yard is already holding standing water. And the storm's not supposed to be here. The hurricane's not actually supposed to hit until Thursday night. And we already have standing water. We're already flooding. So I think that's affecting my internet connection. I think that's affecting, which I believe affects the live quite a bit, actually. So, I think that had a lot to do with it. There's not much I can do about that. Just go back to doing it this way for now. Kind of enjoyed the live because I felt like, you know, I had some people with me. I wasn't alone. Even though I couldn't see what you were saying, I could just feel that you guys were here. So, you know. Because I'm freaking out about the weather. And Bill's at work today. Hopefully he stays home tomorrow and Thursday. But he is down closer to the beach today, working, which puts him even closer to harm. And I don't really care for that. So I've been extra anxious today. Because anybody that knows me, I haven't done a Meet the Artist yet, and I will soon. But anybody that knows me knows that Bill is pretty much my life. We are not married one of these days. But he is a big part of my life and my world. So we're going to take this. This is pretty much a dirty pour through a syringe. I sucked up everything that I could that was on the mat. So it's a mix of all the paints from all 5. Yeah, I've already done 5. So the previous 5 paintings today. And I'm just going to try to get it under the white. And I think what I'm going to do is just do one big go at it from corner to corner. And then go back and add another little wisp on each side because I think I'm going to do some negative space. I'm not big on negative space, guys, but You guys are kind of changing my ways a little. Okay. So I'm seeing it looks kind of a little muddy. I'm seeing some purples. I'm seeing some weird stuff. It might be too muddy. Sucking it up into the syringe may have like really mixed it, I guess you could say. But guess what? We're going to try. And if we don't like it, we will change it. So I like the fact that I like the design. I don't like the colors. They're so muddied and dull. So I think I'm gonna do the same kind of design, but maybe try to liven it up with some color. So see if I've got anything left in these cups that I can use to like whimsically like, and if not, then guess what? We'll pour over it. Okay. Because guess what? It's art. And I can pretty much do whatever. And if I like it, good. And if I don't like it, then guess what? We'll redo it. That's the awesome part about art. It's not permanent until it's permanent. Okay. Do I have any yellow left? Probably not. I may make some. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to blow. And then I'm gonna tilt, and we're just gonna see what we get. And if it's still muddy, then we'll just scrape it. Okay, so at this point I've just decided, whatever. So we're gonna remove some of this paint. There was too much paint on it. If I would have poured over it, it would have eventually just moved way too much, and I would have lost anything good that I would have got. So there's where we are with that. I'm going to set the stick here to kind of keep it from rolling off my table. So beautifulness. I'm going to wipe my hands. And maybe my phone will last long enough for me to mix some paint. I might just mix like a couple colors. What do we want? I'm going to mix some red, something I don't really use a lot, and I'm noticing I'm using a lot more of it the last couple of days. Okay, red. We're going to set that there because I'm going to mix it and set it somewhere. decent bit of Caribbean, and I'm going to just put it in the cup where the bright blue was, so it should darken it up a little bit, but not quite too much. I am going to make some white. And I'm going to do some black. I must have like paint everywhere on this shirt now at this point. Okay, some black. So far everything's Artist Loft except the blue. The Caribbean blue was actually Apple Barrel. And then, I'm going to take this cup that the antique copper was in, and I'm gonna do, we're gonna do some extreme glitter hologram, but we're gonna do it in the antique copper cup so that it kind of mixes. Just to be different today. So there's a little bit of antique copper in that cup, so it will mix. Okay, add Floetrol. Add Floetrol. Okay, and we're gonna mix. And I'm going to do this rather fast because I'm hoping that the video catches it all. This blue will darken up a little bit because of the bright blue that was left in the cup, but there wasn't much. Pretty much just what was on the edges. A little more fluid. I made way too much for one painting. So I guess that's my cue to do more than one. But we're going to do this one on this video and then we're going to stop because I don't think I'm going to have enough time. So this is going to be an antique copper hologram glitter. Antique copper metallic with a hologram glitter. So this one's going to be interesting. That one's going to be really interesting. I foresee that one making a lot of sales. And don't worry about the excessive amount of paint sticks you see me using. I actually do clean them off. The last 5 paintings have all been done with the same stir sticks. I actually have been cleaning them off and reusing them. I just had already thrown them in the trash because I thought that that last one was going to be my last one. And the cups, for the most part, I clean them out into a bucket with a coffee strainer to get rid of the paint so that I'm not putting paint on the ground or in our drains. I am looking into getting some maybe plastic measuring cups or even some shot glasses or something. Maybe plastic shot glasses. So that I can just wash them out every time and save that a little bit more. But normally my cups go through about 4 or 5 paintings before they're done. Before they're just to the point where I can't use them. Except for those paper cups that Bill bought me. He accidentally bought me some paper cups earlier this month. And yeah, those were not reusable. Believe it or not, those were not reusable. I just pulled the stick out of the white to use for the red. Because I just didn't feel like I needed to dirty up another stick at this point. I will probably throw a little bit of silicone in the blue, maybe. This one's a little too thick, but it's almost full, so I don't know how that's gonna work. This is way more paint than for this one painting, so I'll either do another painting or I will put this paint in bottles with lids. We'll see. I do kind of need to prep a little bit more for this storm, so we will just have to see how that happens. But I'm going to take my OGX coconut milk anti-breakage serum, and I'm going to put 1 drop in the blue and swirl it in. Okay, and this has not been cleaned yet, so I wonder if I run some white through it first and push it out, if that'll just clean it a little bit. So I'm just gonna pour some white through and push it out onto the wax paper. That was a weird noise, I know, but I pretty much got everything out of it for the most part. So now we're gonna put it on here to where it stops it. I'm actually gonna put it on the canvas to where it stops it. And I'm gonna put a touch of white because I'm gonna use white as the base, so I want a little bit to go down. And then I'm gonna do black, red, oop, come here, blue, I'm going to add a tad of glitter because I'm not going to have room for this syringe. Slide this to the edge, put my hand on it, get the syringe to where it's almost in. And it's actually going to end up pushing that white out, or some of the white, because I have to move my hand. Or maybe not. Maybe the plunger is just tired today. Okay, there we go. I pushed a little bit of white out, which is fine. I'm going to throw some white down. Then I'm going to be a little extra, and I'm going to throw some black down. I'm going to set the syringe, and I'm just going to kind of tilt black and white and let it kind of do whatever. This is going to be very abstract-y. As long as the whole canvas is covered, I don't care what.